Hello YouTube, this is Victor and welcome back to my channel. I'm a flight attendant and every week I share with you some tips and tricks how to travel in better conditions. Today I'm going to talk about lounges, airport lounges. What do you find those lounges? Where are they? And who can access them? Just also wanted to say welcome to my new followers on the channel. Welcome aboard. Airport lounges, there's actually two kinds of lounges. The first one are owned directly by the airline. That means they operate them, and all the passengers of that airline who have special status or flying in business class will have access to them, but also the passengers are traveling on their partner airline. So let's say you are flying Lufthansa and then you are in Montreal, where there's no Lufthansa lounge in Montreal, but you can access the Star Alliance lounge, which is operated by Air Canada. But because Air Canada and Lufthansa are both part of the Star Alliance, you will have access to the lounge. Other kind of lounge available in some airports, usually smaller airports, it will be a privately owned lounge. So usually it's run by a company or by the airport, and then the airlines will need to have a contract directly with this lounge. So doesn't mean that if you fly Lufthansa but this lounge only have an agreement with Air Canada, well, unfortunately you will not be able to access this lounge even though you are a Star Alliance member. So it's one-on-one directly with the airline. It happened to me in San Jose in California recently. I was flying Air Canada, even though I was in business class. The only lounge in this airport didn't have a partnership directly with Air Canada, so I couldn't access it. But that's alright, it was a nice airport. So who's got access to those lounges? It will be mostly frequent flyers and then passengers who are traveling in business or first class. So usually if we have first or business class ticket, it's included. Even sometimes first class have their own lounge. It's a different lounge, so it's less people. And then also if you are a frequent flyer, that means if you have those kind of top tier, usually call it silver, gold, platinum, whatever they call it, you have either unlimited access or another access in a year. So you have passes and you can use them whenever you want to fly. But the good news, if you are not flying business class or if you don't know how to frequent flyer, you may be able to access the lounge. Some lounges you can pay per visit. It's actually quite good. So usually not lounges operated by an airline, but most of the time it's a private lounge. It's quite a few around the world, and then you just pay per visit and you have like package for 3, 4, 5 hours, etc. and then you can access it. Even if it's just like a one trip in a year and you would like to enjoy and treat yourself. Also, you have to be flying on the day with that airline. It's important. There's been some passengers who have been playing a little bit with the system. Recently, a passenger was in Singapore. He used to buy a ticket that was fully refundable, go in Singapore Changi Airport in one of the Singapore Airline lounge, will enjoy the food, will enjoy everything, and then at the end will say, oh, actually my meeting is cancelled, I can't go anymore. Can you please refund my ticket? Ticket is fully refundable, so get full refund and then just exit the airport, but you use the amenities of the lounge for quite a few hours. And Singapore being quite a big airport, Singapore has got quite a few lounges, so you always go to a different one. But the system tracked each visit, and then he got caught at the end, so he was removed. His access to the lounge was revoked, and then also he had to pay a fine. It happened also a few years ago in Germany with Lufthansa. So yeah, don't play that trick because the airline will find you. What do you find in the lounge? First, you'll find very comfortable seats, much better than when you find in the departure lounge. Usually they're quite comfortable, and good point, they also have all of them or most of them will have PowerPoint. There's PowerPoint everywhere, so you can plug in all your gadgets, you can recharge your phone, work on your laptop, and it will be fully charged before you get into the plane. So that's quite a good upgrade from being in the departure lounge, where usually you have to look for them in many airports. You also find food. The choice is quite different in North America compared to the rest of the world. In the US, most of the time it will be quite basic. It will be pretzels, a few lollies, fruits, a little bit of toast if it's around breakfast, but that's quite limited. Where if you fly in Asia, if you fly in Europe, you will find a huge buffet usually with a lot of stuff. So it's a good catering company behind. You can have your full meal, so you don't have to eat in the plane if you don't want to. So quite good. A bar, a full bar, and not just juice, but you can find spirits and wine. Again, it's free, it's included in your lounge access, but remember etiquette in the US, usually you will have to tip the waiter will serve your drinks, but you don't have to pay for the drink themselves. In the rest of the world, usually you don't have to. And then I know like most of the time it will be like a fridge and you just help yourself with bottles or a dispenser for spirits. So you don't have to worry so much about that, but if you're in the US and someone is serving you, remember to tip them. Another amenity you will find will be, of course, magazine, newspapers, and you will find a business center. A business center usually is quite often basic. That means you have a few computers and you have access to a printer, a fax machine for whoever still uses faxes, and then a copy machine, and that's pretty much it. But it's really quite convenient. I've done some expense report and stuff like that on the go, so it's quite good. So that's the basic package, but some airlines went over the top and decide to offer more amenities because that's a good way to be different from the others. So you will find sometime a shower, and showers are amazing. I flew recently from Australia to LA to Europe, and in my transfer in LA I was able to have a shower. I feel so relaxed after 13 hours on the plane, ready for another 10 to 13. It's really, really good to be able to refresh and change clothes and feel good when you go to the next plane. Some lounges also will offer a spa service with hairdresser, with pedicure, manicure, a massage service. There's lots of stuff. Concierge service, so you name it. Top airlines, I would say one of the top one is actually Virgin Atlantic. The lounges are called the Clubhouse, and they have huge, great array of amenities, so it's quite fantastic compared to some other airline who just give you the basic stuff, but the basic sometimes is quite good. I've used lounges many times in my life, and sometimes, as I was saying, you don't have to fly to specific airlines. So I remember I was coming from Seattle, I was in transfer in London, I was going to India with Jet Airways. First time flying with Jet Airways, they were not part of any alliance. I don't have any status to go with them, but I was able in London. I had, I think, 8 to 10 hours layover. I was waiting for a friend to join me. We're going together to India. I was able to buy an access to United Lounge. So I had a shower, I had food, I was able to read, relax during the day. At the point the lounge was pretty much empty. I think I was the only one because all the United flights were gone. So I was able to do a bit of yoga in a corner, not bothering anyone. That was great. I had a great day and I was fine to go on my next journey going all the way to India. So if you are planning to travel, even if you don't have access to lounges usually, if it's the only flight you will do in a year, but sometimes you want to treat yourself. And sometimes it's not only on the departure airport, but it could be in a transit airport if you have a long transit. So start to consider it. Where do you find the lounge list? So there's two ways. First, you check your own airline, see if they have a lounge, and then you can check the lounge policy access, if you what kind of ticket or what kind of status you need to have, or if they sell a la carte tickets. Or you can also check the airport where you will be, and then usually they will list all the different lounges. Knowing that even some lounges are managed by a credit card company, we start to see that American Express is kind of leader on that one, and then they have quite a few lounges around the world, and if you have the proper American Express card you can actually go, but also they will usually charge as you go if you want to do that. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you're traveling soon, or if you know someone's traveling soon, you might want to share it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, feel free to subscribe. There's also French content, so if you want to see the French channel, you can click on the bottom here. Actually it's here, and then if you want to see the English one, it's above. And if you haven't subscribed, feel free to do so, and if you like the video, please feel free to give a thumb up. Next week we'll go back. It will be episode 2 of my strange comments and remarks from passengers, so I'll give you a few more examples of stuff that are a little bit interesting when passengers mention it to us. Have a good week. Bye.